Hey guys, okay, so a while back I got into game development using the Unreal Engine. Okay, and it was fine for the most part. Then along the line I made a switch to Unity only because I was struggling getting started with Unreal. There was so little material to learn from compared to Unity, and don't even get me started on the blueprint system. I'm not saying it's bad, it was just way too much for me being a beginner. During the time I kept watching videos about Unity versus Unreal. Then before I knew it, I started watching videos about Unity versus Unreal versus Godot versus GameMaker Studios, and deep down I kept rooting for Unity because I was kind of a Unity fanboy, and when Unity didn't win, I would get really bummed out. But that was until I came across this video right here, and then everything became clear to me, really clear. So I was just scrolling through YouTube and I came across this video and I was completely blown away by it. I really couldn't believe someone could use Microsoft Paint to create something that looks this good, and that was when it hit me. Okay, just listen. What does Unity, Unreal Engine, Godot and GameMaker Studio have in common? Well, if you said they are all game engines, you wouldn't be wrong, but more importantly, they are all tools. And what someone created in Paint is something I couldn't create in Photoshop in 10 years or so. Basically what I'm trying to say is that it isn't about the tool, it's about the user. Well, which is ironic because of the title of this video. Anyways, I'll be proving this statement by making a game about game engines. I mean, what better way to prove something on this topic than a game, right? Well, it was the planning phase. I was thinking of something arcadey and fast-paced, kind of like Smash Bros. So I thought of a platformer close quarter fighter. I totally made up that genre, by the way. Then it was time to plan out the characters, which would be game engines, so I wouldn't need to waste time on arts and sprites. A quick Google search of game engines got me blasted with a long list of different game engines, so I just picked the most popular and interesting ones. And I needed to do some research so I can get the stats of each character, which are game engines. I think I've said that way too much. Basically, each character was going to have these stats: speed, weight, damage, health regeneration rate, and then health. The speed will just be how fast the game engine is performance wise, while the weight will be the file download size of the engine. The damage will be the flexibility of the engine, how many devices it can port to out the box, how many languages it supports and all that. The health regeneration rate will be based off how many updates it gets or how much support it receives from its community and developers. And then the health will be based off the biggest game that engine has ever produced. Okay, but here's the kicker. Each stats affect the other. The speed is affected by the weight, the damage is affected by the health regeneration rate, the weight also affects damage, and then the health regeneration rate affects the health. And I think there's a lot more, but you just have to play the game to find out. Let's see. I think I have everything I need to start prototyping. Well, let's get to work. So I just went over to Google to download all the icons of every game engine, the ones I listed at least. And I quickly made a base class that all the characters can inherit from. I just used polymorphism to define each character's special ability. Yeah, each character is going to have a special ability, which is just going to be what the game engine excels best at. Okay, look, after I put together all my characters, I gave them arms and legs, because arms and legs are a pretty cool thing to have. A couple of animations later and I had this. Sorry about that. And I put together a little punching moveset, and by moveset I mean mashing the attack button, and everything was working fine, well, except Godot.
Kill me! I'm in constant pain!
I think he was having a seizure, and the other way to fix this was using separate animators for each character, which is going to be more work on me, because if I needed to change anything, I need to go into each one to change it separately. Then I added a kicking moveset, so you could now mix up the punching with the kicks. Then I added a little knockback, and by little I mean a lot. And then I added a little hit animation, which was inspired by Minecraft. And I did some research to get the stats of each game engine again. And did you know Godot only takes 60 megabytes to download and get running? Wow, I was surprised. Unreal will have the health of 150, which will be the max health. Because of Fortnite, obviously. While Unity will be 140. Because of Among Us, I guess. Okay, look, I don't really know AAA Unity games. CryEngine will be 152. Because of the Far Cry games. Okay, Construct fans, don't hate me for this, but Construct will be 80.
I'm gonna knock your bitch ass out. Hey!
Okay, I couldn't for the life of me find any popular games made with Construct. But if you know anyone, you could drop them in the comments and I'll make an update for the game. GameMaker Studio will be 90. Okay, the games that were showing up, I didn't really know any of them, and I'm sure they won't be as popular as Fortnite or the other games like Among Us. And then Godot will be 100 for obvious reasons. Then I put in the other stats, and then after all my research, this is how it was looking. Okay, so now I was thinking of how I could make each stat affect the other. First, I was thinking about making a function that returned the stats after taking in the parameter of each stat needed for the calculation. Then I had a better idea. I figured it would perform better the less calculations it had to make, so I just did all the calculations myself. You know, like our forefathers did in the old days. Like I literally had to use a pen and paper, like I was like a caveman. So with all said and done, the way to recap your max speed and also your jump height, and some other boring stuff like that. Anyway, it was time to polish off the game. And by polish off the game, I just mean adding a bunch of particle systems. Okay, all the particles were done, for now at least. Then I programmed the health regeneration logic, and I got to working on the first try. And that is something that never happens to me. Okay, next was time for special abilities, and this is how it's going to go down. Everyone's special ability was going to take 40 seconds to recharge, and receiving and giving damage makes it recharge a little bit faster. And each character's special ability is going to be based off what the engine does best. I don't know where I'm going with this. So Unreal Engine will be able to go into a tank-like state, making his health go up to a whopping 200, you know, for about 10 seconds, then the health goes back to what it originally was. And this is based off all the AAA games that the Unreal Engine produces. Unity is able to increase its health regeneration to about 15 for a short amount of time, of course. Then if you could avoid damage, you could basically regenerate to your max health. This is because of all the help and material that's available for Unity. And then the avoiding damage part is because of how hard it is to find a solution to a specific problem. Maybe I'm the only one who can relate to this, or I'm just terrible at coding. Godot will be able to drop his health down, making gravity barely affect him. Then he can float up in the sky and regenerate, unreachable by other characters for a short amount of time, of course. And this is based off the lightweight of the engine. GameDev Studio can shoot a pixelated 2D fire sprite, and it does a lot of damage if it hits. It can also control where it's going. This is based off all the 2D games that it produces. CryEngine can increase its damage to a really high amount for a short amount of time, of course. And this is based off all the AAA games and the high graphics. Our constructs can fill up his health, no matter how low it is. So yeah, just make sure to use it when your health is low. And this was based off the engine. Wow. Yeah, I don't really know what this is based off. Please don't hate me, constructs fans. And I was working on a camera setup, then I put together this testing UI, and it worked on my first try too. Like, damn, I'm on a roll. But then the camera wouldn't follow the players when they spawned in. What if I put them in the editor, like it would work? Anyway, just a minor setback, nothing I can't handle.
Several days later.
Okay, it's been almost a week and I can't for the life of me figure this thing out. Like, GameDev is an annoying piece of work. I don't even know how I'm making this game. Controls are clunky, it's not even fun. Like, nobody's going to play it. I'm spending weeks editing this video, nobody's going to watch it either. Like, I don't even know why I bother. Like, half of the time. Wait, hold on. Player prefab. Wait, no way. You could access prefabs in code. Oh, no wonder. Okay, it's working fine now. Anyways, as I was saying, it's time to move on to the next thing. By the end of this game, it's going to be really, really fun to play. Add teams, team up, adding to your squad, and team up to fight AI with your friends, you know. And the game wouldn't be complete without ragdolls. Ooh, what does this button do? Oh yeah, I could do this all day. Something doesn't feel quite right here. Alright, there we go. That's way better. I could do this all day now. Then I made ragdolls for everyone.
Everybody do the flop!
I have no idea why I just did that. That's like so 2016. I made some UI placeholders. Then I moved on to stage design. And you wouldn't believe how long it took me to get this from Blender to Unity. I tried adding some platforming features, but the camera's perspective made it distorted, so you wouldn't be really able to tell where the platform actually was, because the UFOs are just static props. So I scratched that and tried to do the next best thing, making this chopper fly around the map while the battle is going on and shines a spotlight at the fighters or something cool like that. So I spent a bunch of time doing some animations in Blender, but I couldn't really get it exported properly, so I just wasted my time. So I did a little improv and used the UFO. Oh, were you expecting a clip? Well, I'll show it off later. Oh, you weren't? Well, this is awkward. Moving on, I did some UI design, then I added power-ups for no reason. Like, it was really pointless. They barely add anything to the gameplay. And I had already gone way too far to turn back now, so I just ended up finishing it. Well, the VPN power-up makes you invisible for a short amount of time, so you could basically hide and regenerate but then other players can just use the screen position to figure out where you are. So you see why I said it was pointless. The overclocking power up was supposed to be like overclocking your GPU or CPU or something, so in turn makes you really fast, which just actually makes time slow down for a bit. Yeah, it's very pointless too. And then the flash RAM makes you super fast, like so fast that I don't even think you'll be able to control it. So it was just basically like RAM but for flash. Yeah, it made no sense. I did a little post-processing on the UFO scene after putting in all the UI. This is how it was looking. It was really nice if you ask me. I made a few more questionable stages. Oh, I also tried making some AI, but this is as far as I got. Yeah, and if you were wondering, it's just if else. I plan to redo everything with a state machine, but I'll need a lot more time to do that. So I plan on making an update for the game. That's only if people want to actually play it, cause then I'll just be wasting my time. Oh yeah, I remember this stage selection. Well, this is it now. Before, after. Before, after. See the difference? It's like a lot. And I made this menu screen, but it feels like I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, of course. There we go. Nice, perfect. I also gave every character a backstory or something. So yeah, a little lore for you guys. You could just play the game to check it out. But that's after you finish watching this video. It's almost done. If you made it this far, you might as well just subscribe and like the video. I added in some sound effects and music, and then the game was basically ready. Then I made this icon, and in case you couldn't tell, it stands for Ultimate Game Engine Showdown. Like, look at the U and the S and the D over here, like, yeah. Okay, remember when I said it isn't about the tool and it's really about the user? Well, this is how I'm going to prove it. I'm going to use the worst character in the game and play solo against every other character that will be in one team. And then I'm going to win because I made the games and I don't think the other players really understand the controls yet. But let's keep that just between me and you. And it's kind of like a newbie getting into a new game engine because he wouldn't really understand how it works. And that is technically like the controls of a character. And apart from that, I'm still going to win because like I'm a really epic gamer. Like, have you seen my YouTube channel? 18 subs. Jacksepticeye, who? Okay, here we go. Oh wait, you thought the worst character was going to be Construct? Nah, I just added in Scratch and I gave him the worst possible stats just to make sure my points is proven.
It was at this moment that Nathan knew he fucked up.
Well, that was a bust. My point still stands. It's not like you're